doing pretty spiffy. Too many turds on League, so we're doing Danganronpa instead. Okay. Not Wheel of Fortune. Hey! Hello, Clouds. I have a friend online. Did you guys hear that? I have friends! Ninja, can you shout our boy for me, please? Alright. Stretch. We're gonna roll our shoulders. We're gonna go into this trial. We're ready. You have friends, Cypher. They're all right here. We have no choice, right? We have to do this. Yes. I gave a small nod in reply. With one last deep breath, I walked toward the elevator on shaky legs. I forgot to do my intro for YouTube. God damn it. Hold up. I'm gonna... Hi, YouTube. If you've been watching up till now, you guys know that you guys have been up to date on everything. Right now, this is the live stream of... over on Twitch of the trial. I've kind of kept chat in suspense because even if you're in chat right now and you've been following my YouTube, those episodes aren't up yet because I'm lazy. So anyway, we're gonna go ahead and go on into the trial for chapter 2, and those in voice chat or in the live chat, don't worry. It's Danganronpa. They'll repeat everything at least twice. With each step forward, I could feel my heart starting to race faster and faster. Misha Lesbian? Misha? Thank you for the follow! I'm Mappy, a variety streamer, hoping to bring some awareness to... Oh, epilepsy. And give those with epilepsy a safe place to experience games. Happy to have you here. The elevator began to descend. I couldn't get a handle on my emotions, couldn't stop speculating. I'm doing well, how are you? Well, I hope you're having a great, day of the week. The steel box sank with heavy clunking sounds deeper and deeper into the ground. And as we went deeper, the uneasiness in my heart grew bigger and bigger. I'm your first VTuber? I popped your VTuber I mean... Well, I'm glad you're in here. Somebody did die, Nona, and don't worry, you will get up to date on this. Also, what is this? Hold on, my snoot. I was your first too? So many... So many butt-rees, too, depending on where you keep your cherry. The elevator was unaffected, however, and continued to descend without hesitation. Just a fair warning, the VTuber hole, the rabbit hole goes deep. That's what she said. Until finally, it came to a sudden stop, just like the cherry. What do you think? I redecorated. Isn't it so fresh? Isn't it so exciting? Don't waste our time with stupid questions. Let's get this over with. Good. You're rip raring to go. Gotta say, I don't hate it. Not at all. Okay then, let's get this show on the road. Everyone, please find your assigned seats. Okay. And so the curtain opened once again. A deadly judgment, a deadly deception, a deadly betrayal, a deadly riddle, a deadly defense, a deadly faith. Deadly if you don't take breaths. Aw, who's your twin brother? Thank you for following his recommendation. A deadly class trial. Also, for those on YouTube, I know you can't see the chat. I apologize. This new overlay doesn't come with a chat box. So... deal with it. We don't need to save. We just saved. Alright. There's a skill I want to get rid of. I did not like downshift. Increases the time limit for each phase, effective during the class trial. We don't really need that. No. Upshift increases your aim speed. That would be useful. I don't know if we've gotten anything else. No. So those we got by spending time with Hiro and Mondo. Hey, Charles!
Let's begin with a basic explanation of the class trial. So, your votes will determine the results.
This part's voice acting.
If you can figure out who done it, then only they will receive punishment. But if you pick the wrong one, then I'll punish everyone besides the blackened, and the one that deceived everyone else will graduate. Okay, then. So, first off, let's talk about the murder weapon!
First, we have to make clear what was used to deliver the fatal blow. I hope you have a wonderful Christmas too, Misha. Without giving away spoilers, not in this game, Clouds.
It appears it was a head wound.
This is true.
According to the Monokuma file, the killer used a blunt instrument. But what kind of blunt instrument could it have been?
I mean, that's not technically a lie.
It was an iron pipe.
Power voodoo. You do. Ah, shit! No!
That certainly would make for a powerful weapon.
Hi, Yeladak. How you doing?
Or Chihiro.
So yeah, Chihiro, the ultimate programmer. She's the one who died. Happened to be blah blah blah. Blah.
Chihiro's.
How you doing, Yeladak?
It appears it was, according to the Monokuma file, what kind of blunt in- I bet it was
An iron pipe. Interesting.
That certainly would make or Chihiro.
Yeah!
Chihiro's.
Fatal injury. It appears it was, according to the Monokuma file.
It's these stupid nails.
Could it have been? I bet it was an iron pipe.
There we go.
No, that's wrong.
My nails are so long that they overlap the fucking buttons.
Can we agree that the object that dealt the fatal blow was the dumbbell found at the scene of the crime?
Oh, Yeladak, I'm sorry, hun.
It was covered in blood, and there was nothing else at the
I
scene.
just want a
that
white
could have caused
Christmas.
that
That's all I
kind of
want this
injury.
year.
And the wound on the victim's head is consistent with the shape of the dumbbell. As far as I'm concerned, there's no mistake and no room for doubt on this one.
You looked at her head wound?
Hina, it's a class trial.
Yes! That's so...
I can't stand you.
If you don't mind, I will proceed from here. Let's move on to discussion of the culprit. Although, I believe the criminal behind this heinous act is already quite clear.
Yeah,
For
Booyaki
real?
the butt.
Chihiro's killer is the fiendish serial killer, Genocide Jack.
Genocide Jack, the fiendish serial killer. Did he really kill Chihiro? Which one? It depends. Which one is it? Oh, white line. Okay, yeah, no, we don't need to worry about white noise. We're playing it on kind because it's the best way for me to play with my epilepsy. So, Genocide Jack, case file.
The culprit is Genocide Jack. I'm sure of it.
No, it's not.
Case closed, as far as I'm concerned.
But that's impossible!
Why? What makes it impossible?
Well, I mean, come on! There's just no proof for it.
Unfortunately, there kind of is.
No, that's wrong.
Kinda.
I might know one reason he could be involved.
What?
I found this file while I was looking around the archive in the library.
You're a Danganronpa, baby.
I guess it's some kind of confidential file the police put together about the Genocide Jack case.
What? That's kind of weird as shit, isn't it? What was something like that doing in the library?
I will say it is a murder mystery visual novel, obviously with, strong language.
The why of it is probably more trouble than it's worth, so let's forget about that for now. More importantly, it outlines all the specifics of every Genocide Jack case in exceeding detail. According to the file, there appear to be 2 defining characteristics in every Genocide Jack case. The first is that a bloody message is found written at the scene of every murder.
Oh, that's right. Boob lust.
No. It's actually bloodlust.
God, I hate Hifumi. Oh, no worries, Rex. Welcome back.
But more important is the other characteristic, and it's something that has never been made public.
Never made public? What the hell is it?
Why don't you tell them, Makoto?
Or you could fucking tell them, you know. Of every Genocide Jack case, which the world at large doesn't know, if I'm not mistaken, it has to do with the positioning of the body. You literally answered the question for us, Makoto.
Apparently, in every Genocide Jack case, the killer suspends the body in a certain way. Other than the killer, the only people who know about this are the higher-ups in the police department.
Yep.
However, Chihiro was most definitely suspended in the same way. So, how did the culprit know about this when only high-level police officials were aware of it? There's only one logical answer I can think of. It's because the culprit in this case is the real Genocide Jack.
So, Byakuya here
No fucking way.
is the ultimate affluent progeny, and from the Tagami family. And according to Byakuya, they are the part of a secret council that runs everything behind the scenes, and so that's how he knows all these high-profile things. If for sure you should be able to hit him. He is annoying! I know, right, Nine? I can't stand him.
Genocide Jack is one of us?
I know way too much about this lore. The lore and the history behind Danganronpa. So, Clouds, if you ever have any questions, just ask away.
Yes. In fact, it's Toko.
What?
Genocide Jack's true identity is Toko Fukawa.
You
What? Hey, okay, wait, hold on a sec. Toko has, like, bloodophobia or whatever, remember? What kind of serial killer is afraid of blood?
Is Toko Genocide Jack? The answer is yes and no.
Another riddle. Man, why is this gotta be so complicated?
It's a riddle for sure, but I feel like I understand it. What it means for Genocide Jack to be Toko, but also to not be Toko. Alright, so I will say that this is a game made in 2010, so please do not get offended by this next Hangman's Gambit.
Now I understand.
Social phobia with how much he's called upon to see the answer. I know, right, Rex? Last trial it was Kyoko, this trial it's Byakuya.
Has a split personality?
Huh?
I think I read that somewhere in the file too. They thought that the suspect might have, what did they call it? Dissociative identity disorder.
Oh, okay. But still, to go and say that about Miss Fukawa is...
Perfectly acceptable.
Is it though?
Toko's strange behavior after seeing the body is proof enough that she has a split personality.
No, my dude, no. The one thing that shows Toko could have a split behavior, her behavior changed. Or split personality.
You're talking about how she started acting totally different than usual, right?
That's right. Think back. She fainted when she saw Chihiro's corpse, and then, when she woke up...
Byakuya is just like the ultimate assumption jumper person. I'm fine. Whoa, is that a dead body? Hey, are you dead? She must have hit her head real hard when she fainted. The world has a front and a back, a top ending and a bottom, a sea of truth and a web of lies. This is quite concerning. I mean, she sounds completely different.
She was acting funny, that's for sure. That melancholy tone of hers completely disappeared.
Don't go assigning adjectives to my tone without permission.
Not to mention, once she regained consciousness and saw Chihiro's body again, she was utterly calm.
This is why I am not a huge fan of Byakuya.
In other words, within her is one personality that can't handle blood, and one that obviously can.
So when Toko trapped herself in her room, it's because she was scared of Genocide Jack?
I won't let Genocide Jack have control. I'll drive out the killer, drive out the murderous fiend.
The reason she locked herself in her room wasn't to keep other people from getting in. It was to keep her other personality from getting out.
What?
Toko was afraid. Afraid of the murderous fiend inside of her. Of killing even more people.
How?
Yeah. How can you know all this?
Can you... Okay, guys. Am I the only one who thinks that on Hina's shorts that looks like Monokuma's eye? Do you see it? I'll disappear for a second again.
I do believe you misunderstood her. What she's trying to say isn't, how can you know all this? No. What she wants to know is, how could you tell them?
Huh?
Last night, just before Monokuma gave his motive speech, Toko and I had a strange conversation. She told me a most interesting story. She said a murderous fiend lived within her, and she was afraid it could appear and attack at any time. And that trepidation is what's caused her to have such a bleak attitude. Isn't that right?
This is all a lie. Right, Toko?
You said you wouldn't tell anyone.
Mm-hmm.
What?
You promised. I can't believe you lied.
You have only yourself to blame. You came to me with your tragic little story. I didn't ask you to.
Yeah, I mean, he's an asshole, but he's not wrong. He didn't ask her to.
This is the real world, not some romantic fantasy fairy tale. Besides, you broke your promise first. You said that as long as you were here, no matter what, you wouldn't let Genocide Jack kill anyone.
The voice actor did a very good job, though. The voice actor for Byakuya.
But in spite of that promise...
So did the one for Toko, though. I'm sorry I couldn't keep our promise, but don't worry, never again. I won't let Genocide Jack have control ever again.
You said if I kept my promise, you would go out with me. That's the only reason I promised.
How many times do I have to tell you? I never said that. But you weren't able to do it. You just couldn't resist that rush you got from killing, could you?
I tried. I swear I tried to control it.
But your efforts were useless. What a disappointment.
He even has that nasally tone that the actually people use.
I hate you.
Well, the opening act is nearly finished. All that's left is to hear from the person in question directly.
The person? You don't...
Toko's body suddenly lunged backwards. A huge thud echoed across the courtroom, but in the next second... You guys ready? Are you ready for this? You ready for this? One of my favorite characters. Genocide Jill.
Well, hello there! Is it me you were hoping to see? Yes! What the heck? So you figured it out, huh? Well, whatever. What are you gonna do? I'm the ultimate murderous fiend, Genocide Jack! Or better yet, let's go with Genocide Jill!
What the fuck is this?
Toko, what happened to you?
Not Toko, that's a loser name, and what happened is a textbook split personality. So what if one of them happens to be a serial killer? You should turn a blind eye to one's fault.
What that tongue do, though, am I right?
So intense.
Like they say, sound in murderous mind, sound in murderous body.
This one is so different from the one we've come to know.
Yeah, animatronic.
The world is
Yeah.
composed of a front and a back, you know. Just like how every inning has a top and a bottom, or how in the depths of every truth lives a little lie. Behind every dark and gloomy soul lives another that shines as bright as the sun!
This is the murderous fiend Genocide Jack? This is beyond insane.
Miss Jack, Jill, can I ask you a question?
Can't talk. Oh, look how kind she is, though. She's so respectful, you know?
Some of us think you might be the mastermind behind our entire situation. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, I'll tell you, I am the mastermind of all masterminds! Just kidding!
Then it's not true?
Of course it's not true! How dare you try to link me to that creepazoid? And another thing, the police and government and society in the outside world are totally powerless! I mean, they've just let this idiotic, bloodthirsty maniac go buck wild all over town!
Sure, I'm a bloodthirsty maniac, but life is pain, right? To live is to hurt other people. It's a necessary evil if you want to survive. The act of living itself causes pain for everyone. Just kidding again!
This should be enough to convince you. This murderous fiend is responsible for Chihiro's death. There's clearly a motive, so there should be no doubt.
Oh man, Rex. Epi Avatar dressed up as Genocide Jill when?
Remember what Monokuma told us?
Maybe next year for Halloween. Although I would rather be Junko Enoshima for Halloween next year. Oh, Charles would like that.
If someone didn't murder and graduate within 24 hours, an embarrassing memory or secret would be revealed.
That was the motive for this this trial,
Well,
for this murder.
Let's assume that Toko's secret was about
Makoto's?
Genocide Jack.
Excuse me. Makoto's secret was that he wet the bed until he was in 5th grade. That was what he was. Yeah, right. It is hilarious, animatronic. Like, who's gonna kill over the fact that they peed the bed until they were 10 years old?
If a secret like that came to light, Toko's life would have undoubtedly been forever ruined.
Oh, call you
So
son?
she had
Okay.
a very clear motive to never have that side of herself exposed.
Interesting. Very, very, very interesting. But sorry, as much as I hate to admit it, I'm not the culprit.
But I cannot imagine anyone other than you could murder someone in such a bizarre fashion.
Maybe so, but nevertheless, it's the truth.
Do you really expect any of us to believe you?
Yeah. I could never believe a word you say, you monster.
Maybe she's totally right about that, but something's still bothering me. What she said. I need to get some more details about all of this. The animation of the first game? The scene in... What do you mean there, Charles? Studios shipped a dead booty.
Sorry, but I didn't kill anyone.
I gotta shift to my seat.
But do you really expect any of us to believe it?
Perhaps if you had an alibi, that would change things.
Oh yeah, I didn't care for it.
Now we're talking.
When you compare your past murders to this incident, the modus operandi matches completely.
No, it doesn't!
No, that's wrong.
The anime of the first game I didn't enjoy, but the Despair arc, the Future arc, and the Hope arc, those I enjoyed.
I think there's a slight difference between the Genocide Jack cases and this one.
Huh? How's it any different?
Uh-oh, you don't know? Well then, human garbage, let me tell you!
Oh, that's good, Eladak. I'm glad. I'm very glad.
I murder with passion and conviction. I consider myself a professional, and I have a very particular way of doing things. Imagine you go to a fancy Italian restaurant. They're very picky about the noodles, the sauce, everything. But what happened to Chihiro? It'd be like if that same Italian restaurant started using ragu or Chef Boyardee. This is no creation of mine.
Let me rephrase that, in a way that maybe makes more sense. There are two clear differences between the Genocide Jack cases and this one.
Yeah, Aladak, I understand. Also, leave it to Genocide Jill to compare murder to an Italian restaurant. There's one clear difference between the murders. In the photos from the other Genocide Jack cases, look at the neck and stomach. Here you'll see a clear difference, the victim's fatal injury.
For one, the cause of death is different. In the Genocide Jack murders, all the victims were killed the same way. According to the case file, they were all apparently killed with a pair of scissors. But Chihiro died from a blow to the head, right?
Ah, yes. That is remarkably different from the other murders.
Wouldn't it be strange for someone who kills the same way without fail to suddenly change their method? And there's more. One more conflicting detail.
That's right. In my recipe of murder, if the bloody message is the tortellini, then the arrangement of the body would be the pesto sauce.
Could you please stop comparing killing people to cooking?
Thank you, Hiro.
So, are you saying the other difference has to do with how the body was arranged?
That's right, the second difference is related to how she was suspended. In the photos of the other Genocide Jack cases, all the other victims were stabbed through their hands. Here you'll see a clear difference. What was used?
I got it! Do you remember what the killer used to suspend her? They used some kind of rope to hang her up by her wrists.
What is that?
So, Cypher, I get that you hate it that you're hungry now, but are you hungry now because of the conversation or just, you know, standard hunger?
Well, in all the previous Genocide Jack cases, something else was used to suspend them. Specifically, pairs of razor-sharp scissors.
And guess what?
Bit of both.
I used my own specially designed scissors for the murders and the arrangement. Like I said, I'm a professional, so naturally I'm very picky about the tools I use. And you know what else? Big Mac said there's two differences, but he's wrong.
I love it.
Big Mac? Are you referring to me?
Listen up, Big Mac. There's actually one more difference.
I love Genocide Jill. I'm sorry. Genocide Jill, Junko, and Monokuma. They're my favorite in the series.
Huh?
Well, and then of course there's Akane, Gundam, and Hajime in the next game, but we'll get there.
My word, you really didn't notice? Take a look at who the victims were in each Genocide Jack case. There's a pattern there, just waiting to be discovered.
A pattern?
Figure that out, and it'll be plain as death why I couldn't have possibly killed that little lolly girl.
Oh, I gotta stretch. Let's see. There was a pattern surrounding the Genocide Jack victims, and Chihiro didn't fit it. If you look at the names of every victim, what you'll notice is... I think I figured it out. I know why she couldn't have killed Chihiro. Because Chihiro was a girl.
Is it because Chihiro was a girl?
Listen, Nine, you have to learn to see beyond somebody's faults and accept them for who they are, and sometimes you're just a psychopath with a crazy-ass tongue, okay? Okay?
Bingo! Bullseye! Right on the money!
What are you talking about?
Oh, murder part. She's just a serial killer. There's no big deal. No big deal, Rex.
In all the Genocide Jack cases, all the victims had something in common.
Ken Harada, 32, Tetsuhiro Honda, 17, Shoji Gaku, 23, Kano Isai, 14, Takeshi Yoshida, 30. Komatsuna Taro, Takafumi Gono, Uchida now... There's no end to it.
They were all guys?
Yep, I definitely read all those names out loud.
That's right!
And I did it
With
seamlessly.
such passion and conviction! They're all adorable little men! I can't believe I said it! I'm so
The hell is wrong with you?
I can't help it. I'm just a full-throttle boy-on-boy fangirl, and the mopey side of me just hates it. And now I'm on the fast track to becoming a full-fledged madam!
Only a couple murders, just a small amount.
So
Exactly,
if
Cypher.
Hero was a girl and not an adorable little man, you wouldn't kill her?
Would an Italian chef suddenly start making ramen just because they're both noodles? Don't be stupid. I have too much passion and conviction to cross that line. That's the absolute reality of the one and only.
I mean, that does stick with actual serial killers. You know, they have the way they do things, and that's not, you know, they rarely ever deviate from it.
We get it. You've clearly explained your hobby and your philosophy. But that's not all there is to it. It's a different matter entirely, when you're forced to kill in order to survive.
Quiet, lowly cur!
You tell him.
Lowly? Cur?
Pretty sure that's the first time anybody's ever dared to insult Byakuya to his face.
I would never kill for a reason as petty as mere survival. And if by some fluke I did kill to survive, why would I bother with the message and arrangement? It'd make me the obvious suspect!
That does make some amount of sense.
It makes a lot of sense, Celeste.
Whatever reason I have for killing, I would never leave out my prized scissors. Who would go out of their way to use a big, stupid, heavy dumbbell?
Maybe you used the dumbbell because you couldn't find any scissors in the school?
Any scissors?
Uh-oh.
Don't just use any scissors. I only use my own set of high-class envy of the entire world scissors!
Okay, whatever. There still aren't any in the school.
Are you sure about that? Da-da-da-da!
I love her!
She's fully equipped. That's right, so I can go anywhere, anytime. Why would I resort to dumbbells or rope when I have my trusty scissors by my side?
She only uses
Go
the
ahead,
Gucci
follow
scissors
along.
indeed.
And you gutter dogs, all of you. Not to mention, I have no clue how to tie a good knot. So rope's totally out of the question anyway.
I have no idea what's going on anymore. Could such a heinous villain really be innocent?
I mean, in this one instance, yeah.
But the body really was suspended, right? And nobody but the police knew about that.
You'll find many JoJo references both in this game and the second one, Rex. Don't worry, we will be playing both.
Yeah. That's why we figured it had to be the real deal and not some copycat killer or whatever.
Holy shit, Nine, you're right. It is Psycho Sass. Is she here? Is Sass here? Fack. Hold on. Meat for the meat counter. My apologies. One person who could have copied the Genocide Jack cases. I wonder who it could have been.
Here's my answer. Byakuya, it's possible you could have found out, isn't it? You'd have no problem gaining access to classified government documents or internal police records. Plus, you'd already looked through the Genocide Jack file before this all happened, hadn't you?
'Cause he's a cuck.
Are you saying Mr. Togami did it?
Then the reason he pushed the theory of Genocide Jack being the killer so hard was because he wanted to pin the crime on her.
So, he rearranged the scene to disguise it and make it look like I put my stamp on it. The adorable glasses man was behind it all? Oh, I'm on fire!
Well, Byakuya, what's your response?
I see.
Kind of
So now
zooming
the
past those
suspicion
because
falls
the
on me.
faces on the side, while they aren't as bad as they used to be, they're still kind of rough on that motion blur.
Then I must ask, when would you say I began acting suspicious?
Oh, my back.
Surely you
Oh
would
my
have
gosh. You've always been suspicious, bruh.
Looking back and thinking about it now, the way you were acting right before we discovered the body was a little strange.
And the locker rooms. They're suspicious. Very suspicious indeed. Wouldn't you agree? Huh? Suspicious. It seems nobody searched the locker rooms. Let's start with the girls' locker room.
You wanted to go to the girls' locker room right away, right? But since
I should have naturally thought of the boys' locker room first. Is that what you want to say?
I don't know if I was hearing things or if my cats are causing chaos.
The victim was Chihiro, a girl. Hence why I said we should check the girls' locker room.
But we didn't know it was Chihiro at the time,
Nothing
sweetie.
strange about that, I'd say.
on the contrary, there's something very strange.
Okay then, what's so strange about it? Go ahead, share with the rest of the class.
There's a clear contradiction in what Byakuya just said. I need to make it clear to everyone. Is this the one? Because I need to remember how this one works. Thanks for my... Okay, a truth flashback. If you aim at a weak spot and hold down the X button, then you'll memorize that weak spot. Okay.
So, you said Byakuya was acting kind of weird before we found the body. But he was acting weird... how?
If you're presented with the opportunity to check out the locker room...
No.
That's a natural reaction for
Pinky
any guy.
Jinxie, thank you so much for the follow. Welcome in.
The
I am
victim
Epi,
was Chihiro, who was a girl.
a variety streamer.
So of course I would suggest we check the girls' locker room first.
Sorry, hoping to bring some awareness to epilepsy
There
and
was
give
no
those with
time for
epilepsy a
pointless
safe place to
distraction.
experience games. Hey, Volpine!
What's so strange about that?
I wish you'd taken me with you.
Oh, shut up, you disaster of a person. Because it doesn't make sense we could have done it. Okay, I see what I need to do. I know what I need to do.
So, you said Byakuya was acting kind of weird, but he was acting weird.
If you're presented with the opportunity to...
That's a natural reaction.
The victim...
Was Chihiro, who was... So of course I would suggest
Just we check. There was no time for point. What's so strange? I wish you'd taken me with you.
So, you said Byakuya was acting kind of weird before we found the body.
Okay, so it's that one first, and then we shoot the other. Got it.
Shoot!
So, you said Byakuya was acting kind of weird before we found the body. But he was acting weird.
If you're presented with the opportunity to...
That's a natural reaction.
the victim was Chihiro.
You didn't know that before we found the body, bitch! Or at least you shouldn't have.
I'll tell you what's so strange about that. Because up until we actually discovered the body, we couldn't have known who the victim was.
Yeah, I am not going to tell you the kind of dance I just did while I called that out. What was I gonna say? My brain just completely short-circuited. Hold on. Nope, it's gone.
So your claim that you went to the girls' locker room first because Chihiro was the victim
Oh.
doesn't hold up.
I say I get that wrong a
That's
lot.
a good answer.
I
must
absorb the, like, I find the two statements, and I always, not always, but 9 times out of 10, I select the wrong one to shoot at the correct one.
Interesting. Very interesting indeed. But your reasoning is still too weak.
Huh?
What's wrong? Is that it? Surely you've got more than that. Go ahead. Show us.
What's with Byakuya's attitude? It's like he doesn't even care. I've got him. Kamakura, yas, queen! I've got him cornered, but he's acting like it has nothing to do with him.
What's the matter? You're not finished already, are you? There must be more to it.
There is. I think.
There is more to it. Think about it. We just talked about the differences between this case and past Genocide Jack incidents. The proof you're looking for is hidden in there.
Oh? Proof that I'm the culprit, you mean?
The differences between this case and other Genocide Jack murders. The evidence that proves Byakuya is responsible is hidden in there? What could it be?
What? The difference between the cases? You want me to explain it again? When I want to kill, I use my very own special scissors. And I use those same scissors to arrange the body.
Uh-huh.
But Chihiro was suspended with... It was some kind of rope. Was it not?
Seriously, did none of you see the plug?
It absolutely was!
Then there must be something very fishy indeed about that rope.
Hey, Byakuya, where'd you get it from, huh?
I'd never seen that rope before in my life.
Liar!
No, it's wrong. Actually, I'm pretty sure you have seen it before.
Oh, hello, Bibbs.
Hello, what you up to?
Oh, we're streaming some Danganronpa.
Nice.
Gonna find out who killed who.
Because, you see, that rope, or should I say, that extension cord?
Mm-hmm.
What? An extension cord?
Byakuya, you've used the extension cord in the library more than once, haven't you? And the same extension cord that was in the library all this time went missing after the murder. And there's no way someone who uses that extension cord as much as you do wouldn't discover that fact.
And Byakuya must be the one who took the extension cord. I can't imagine any other possibility.
That's really what you think? Then your conclusion is something like this? I killed Chihiro in the girls' locker room, then hung her up and wrote that bloody message. I intentionally made it look like Genocide Jack was behind it. Is that about right?
He's doing it again. He's totally calm, totally unconcerned. I mean, that face doesn't really look too unconcerned, but... as if he's not even involved. Wait, not even involved?
What's wrong? I asked you if you think that's what happened.
Hell yes, that's what happened. So that's it, right? Byakuya's the killer.
I don't disagree with not disagreeing.
He kept calling this a game, right? So he'd be totally willing to do something like this to win.
Yeah, but he wouldn't give up so easily either. I'm just gonna say that.
Sorry, but could we hold on just a second?
Like, before I even... like, when I was first playing the game, the first time around, he was accepting it way too easily.
I think we need to talk about this a little more.
Huh? Do we really need to? We've already decided who did it.
I know, but still, there's something that's still bothering me.
Is that right? And what, pray tell, is still bothering you? I killed her in the girls' locker room, then disguised my crime. Specifically, I dressed it up to make it look like it was the work of a homicidal psychopath. What about all that bothers you?
The fact that you did it all in the first place, bro? Wait. What was that just now? Something's not right. Chihiro's body was definitely found in the girls' locker room, but does that mean... can I really just accept what Byakuya said as the truth? No, I don't think so. There's something I can read. Deep, beep, beep, beep.
I got it! You say you killed Chihiro in the girls' locker room, right? But are you sure about that? Isn't it possible that the murder took place somewhere else?
How disappointing. What kind of question is that? Even in the world of disappointments, this is a true letdown.
Yeah, because you didn't think of it yourself, Byakuya bitch.
She was found dead in the girls' locker room.
More like Byaku Yuki.
Absolutely no question about that.
Yucky. Thank you for lurking, Joker.
How could the scene of the crime have been anywhere else?
Well, I think it's entirely possible that she was killed somewhere else, then carried there later.
Byaku Yucky. There we go. Byaku Yucky.
Along with the rest of the murder scene.
The rest of the murder scene?
Not quite Garbage Baby, but definitely Byaku Yucky.
That was awfully specific. Please tell me you have a reason for saying all of that.
I believe I do.
Hey Byakuya, did I just take you off guard? Hey Crash! When the story suddenly moved to the crime scene, Byakuya had been so confident up till now. Maybe Byakuya never even realized that the actual scene of the crime could have been somewhere else.
Hey! Don't just move on without permission! What do you mean she was killed somewhere else?
Come on, Makoto. If there's any chance the murder took place somewhere else, let's see the proof.
Evidence that shows the murder took place somewhere else. There was something that was switched between the boys' and girls' locker rooms. That one!
I got it! The proof that she was killed somewhere else is...
Your
proof sorry.
Is some posters?
The poster in the girls' locker room was a picture of a big-boobed supermodel. But don't you think that's kind of strange?
Thank God I didn't take a drink of my coffee right before that. I forgot how he says that. It was a picture of a big-boobed supermodel. Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
Why would the girls' locker room have a poster like that?
Girls can like boobs too. Exactly, Nine. Oh, it hurts. It hurts to giggle.
I bet those massive jugs of hers were totally fake!
Meanwhile, the boys' locker room
Makoto is just like... We're just gonna keep talking. We're not even going to acknowledge it. We're just gonna keep going. All booba is good booba. Exactly. Equal opportunity booba.
a poster of the super popular boy band Tornado.
And what's wrong with being a fan of boy bands?
Again, that doesn't really seem to belong in a boy's locker room.
I do see where he's going with this, though.
So you're saying that maybe the posters were switched?
And there's one other thing I noticed about the locker rooms. You know what I'm talking about, right, Sakura?
You're referring to my protein coffee, aren't you?
No, the shit stain.
Protein coffee? While I was in the girls' locker room earlier, I spilled some protein coffee on the carpet.
And it looked like a shit stain.
But I noticed that after the murder, the stain had been totally scrubbed away.
No, it's not that the stain was scrubbed away. It was moved.
I got it! The stain on the girls' locker room carpet wasn't scrubbed away. In fact, I found it on the boys' locker room carpet.
That's definitely the stain from my protein coffee.
Then, does that mean that the carpets were switched too?
Hey, gamer! Yeah, so the stream earlier got an abrupt end because I was having an aura so severe I thought I was actually going to have a seizure. I didn't, so no worries there. I did not have a seizure, but it was still really spooky and I panicked.
But why would anyone do that?
To move the murder scene from one locker room to the other. It's certainly plausible, don't you think? What? In other words, in order to completely swap the scene of the crime, the blood-stained poster and carpet were moved along with the dead body. By doing this, the killer was able to change the entire room where the murder took place.
I can certainly follow your reasoning, but why would the culprit bother doing that?
Huh?
Why would they go through all that trouble of switching the scene?
Thank you, Crash. Yee. I shall do that sip, assuming Makoto doesn't say big-boobed girl. Thank you for lurking there, Clouds.
Actually, an even bigger question. If the murder did take place in the boys' locker room,
You're a hero, Rex.
then how did Chihiro get in the boys' locker room in the first place? To get into the locker rooms, you have to swipe your e-handbook across the
Oh,
card reader
Cypher. I know you said you're not photosensitive, but just a heads up. I'm sure you may have seen from the side panels from the motion blur. You might end up with a little bit of a headache, so just be careful, okay?
But Chihiro's handbook should have only allowed her access to the girls' locker room.
And thank you, gamer. Gee.
She had no way to get into the boys' locker room to begin with.
No, she did have a way, and I can tell you what it was.
I highly doubt that.
Shut up! I'm telling you, I know how she could have done it.
Is he right? Could Chihiro really have gotten into the boys' locker room somehow?
Is it really possible? Could Chihiro really have gotten into the boys' locker room somehow?
Whoops! I didn't know that would happen. What if I did it here? Aha!
She must have hacked her e-handbook. She was the ultimate programmer, after all. I'm sure that would have been no problem for her.
No, I don't think that's it. She used the thing that was in the main hall.
Huh? What thing?
I'm talking about Leon's handbook, of course.
Possibly this? Yeah.
No, that's wrong. No, I don't think Chihiro used Leon's handbook.
Why not?
Because Leon's handbook was broken.
Oh. Well, then, yeah, I guess that'd be pretty impossible, huh?
I am struck silent by how quickly you gave up.
Plus, isn't there a regulation against using someone
Hey,
else's
you know,
handbook?
he knows when he's wrong. He's not afraid to admit it.
Actually, the rule states that loaning your handbook is prohibited. It says nothing about borrowing one.
Loopholes! I gotta put on my Monokuma hoodie blanket.
In other words, you could borrow a dead person's handbook all you want, and you'd be safe.
Yup. Hit the nail square on the noggin.
Aw, my cats are
Of
assholes.
course, if it were broken, that wouldn't make any sense anyway.
And I am the big sad now.
So then, like I said, she used her ultimate programmer skills.
Thank you for the head pats, Misha.
You can't fix an e-handbook. The instant you open one up, a security buzzer starts blaring.
They peed on my Monokuma hoodie.
So, if she didn't use Leon's handbook,
Little shits.
and she didn't modify her own handbook,
Maybe Mr. Naegi's initial assumption is just wrong?
You're wrong.
It seems like there's
more
head
pats.
locker room. So I guess so.
Okay then, I vote for Byakuya.
Yeah, I gotta watch it. Is that it then? Chihiro was killed in the girls' locker room, and then Byakuya's the one who did it? Really? But still, I don't know what else I can do.
Hold on a second. I agree with you, though. I think you're on the right track.
What the? You finally decide to open your mouth and that's what you've got to say?
Don't be mean, Mondo. Alright, hold on. You guys wait, just don't go anywhere. If you're on YouTube, don't go anywhere either. This is important. This is something of the utmost importance. Okay. It's getting washed as we speak. That is way too much work, Vulpine. I ain't gonna lie. I'll just use the extra strength soap.
There's no way she could get in the boys' locker room, right? So...
That's awesome, Misha. Make sure you make sure you keep your litter boxes clean, or you'll run into things like what I just ran into, them pissing on things in agitation.
Why are you so sure she couldn't get in? There's
Headbats.
still one other way she could have gained access.
What? What are you talking about? What other way is there?
Well, to explain that, why don't we take a little break from the trial? I'd like you all to come see something.
Wait. Just what do you think you're doing?
Don't worry.
Not as bad as
This
males
makes the
who
whole
mark. I
trial
will
more
say
exciting.
that,
I'm
Volpine.
sure that thought must please you.
Chrissy likes to mark a lot, but at least it's not a male cat marking. That I will never miss.
Huh? It'll make things more exciting? Well, all right then. I declare an official class trial recess.
Yeah, I know what you mean, Volpine.
Now then, what is it you want to show us? It better not be boring or I'll be very unhappy.
Oh, I have no doubt it'll meet your lofty expectations. So...
Whoops. Before I even knew what was happening, the class trial had been put on hold. We headed off with Kyoko in the lead. Excuse me, and where she took us was... Hiccups.
The girls' locker room?
We've already searched this place top to bottom. What are you trying to pull, Missy?
I'd like you to examine the victim's body one more time.
One more time. You want to check it again?
Be sure to examine the entire body very carefully. Take your time.
Examine her carefully?
Ugh.
Like using our hands?
You're a degenerate and I hate you.
No way!
It's probably best if I don't run my hands all over a girl's dead body.
It's not that I'm creeped out or anything, it's just based on religious grounds, you know?
I feel you, Hiro.
Very well. I'll do it.
It was 9.
But you're a girl. You shouldn't have to touch a dead body. Just look.
No,
Nah,
it's
I
okay.
didn't mean to do that.
I think Chihiro would rather have a girl examine her.
Hold on, let me reopen the log. These heckin' nails. You shouldn't have such a dead body, just let one of the boys do it.
So just leave this to me.
Sakura. What is this? Some kind of secret girl-on-girl action? Is that what you two are about?
I love you, Genocide Jill. Never change.
That's not it at all. Stop screwing around.
Okay, here I go.
Wait, what did I miss, Volpine? Did I misspeak?
I'm sorry, Chihiro. Please excuse the intrusion.
Oh, okay. Putting her hands together in a brief prayer, Sakura then began to quietly examine her body.
Be sure to check her entire body, and I believe we will solve this particular mystery.
Oh! Yeah, Volpine, I figured you just meant like a long time ago. Toko was permanent horny. Very true, Crash. Very true.
Her entire body? I know you say that, but... What? This is... What is this...
What is it?
Not possible. It's not possible.
Sakura's eyes were staring wildly at Chihiro's lifeless form. Her massive frame trembled.
This girl is
what?
Is a boy.
Ah, I see. So she was
The way she said boy, a boy! It reminds me of Who Framed Roger Rabbit, when Eddie Valiant is running through the streets and he opens a door and a tune turns around and is like, oh man! It was great.
You're joking, right?
I wouldn't joke about this.
Then it's really true?
How dare there be a peen here?
Oh, what? You guys didn't know? Heck, I knew that right off the bat. Chihiro Fujisaki was totally a guy.
Then he was a cross-dresser? Oh, I'm really on fire! I wish I had
Mochi?
Kyoko wanted to show everyone, huh? Interesting. Yes, that certainly does make things much more exciting. Now let's ride this wave of excitement back to the courtroom and get back to the trial.
Yep.
I do apologize for keeping you waiting. Now then, let's resume the class trial.
So Nona, it's kind of this is where I get confused, and if I offend anybody, I am deeply apologetic, but I don't know enough about the trans community to say for certain that she was indeed trans, because later it's revealed that it was her inferiority complex that caused Chihiro to dress up as a woman. They don't outright say that Chihiro identified as female, so that is why. So I don't know. I don't know if that would be more towards like the gender fluid, or maybe back in 2010 they just didn't have the knowledge about transgenders that they do now. So I'm not sure. I'm sorry.
We've all just learned of the shocking revelation that Chihiro was actually a boy. Let's pick up from there.
Yes, well, I don't know his reason for hiding it, but the fact is, Chihiro was not a girl, but a boy.
To think that Chihiro was actually a guy, the thought had never crossed my mind.
And because the victim was male, he would have had no problem gaining access to the boys' locker room.
It does, Volpine, but at the same instance, I hesitate to say yes or no. It is interesting, Nona, yeah.
Assuming his handbook did, in fact, list his gender as male, then yes, that would be true.
Of course his handbook said he was a boy. He dressed like a girl, but he was a boy through and through.
Like, I'm trying to look back on what I know of Chihiro, and I just don't know. I don't know. Maybe somebody either in chat or in the comments can let me know. Is it cross-dressing? Is it perhaps gender fluid, transgender? I feel like there's so much we know now that we didn't know back in 2010 when the game came out that has kind of changed the way things are. It does seem like that crash. The more I sit and think about it and talk about it with you guys, it does seem more a case of cross-dressing.
So then, there should be no issue with Makoto's initial assertion. The victim was killed in the boys' locker room, and was then later moved to the girls' locker room. And the killer could have easily used Sayaka or Junko's handbook to get into the girls' locker room.
So Chihiro really was killed in the boys' locker room?
Okay, Mochi.
I still don't understand the motive for moving the body.
Thank you.
But yes, that does seem plausible.
Well, I must admit, I did find it rather odd. I knew he felt a little off. There was a certain incongruity to his female body.
You didn't know it, Byakuya. You're just being a bitch. Yeah, go for it, Nona.
This is the most titillating situation!
Tit. From what you gather, Chihiro identifies as male. Okay.
So now everything has been connected. All the mysteries have finally become clear.
Hey, Snickerman, you're familiar with Danganronpa?
Okay, well, connected or clear or whatever. We still think you're the killer, remember?
Very interesting. This has become very interesting indeed.
And then just kind of let people assume that you know, female clothing meant female in gender. Hello, Ali Apple Pie. Welcome in.
He's off in his own little world.
What about you, Makoto? After everything we've learned, do you still think Byakuya's the killer?
Well, without a doubt, Byakuya is the one that made Chihiro's death look like Genocide Jack did it. But
Since there are a variety of possibilities and nuance with the individual sets, but seem like cross-dressing versus trans, but again, only the person. Oh yes, only the person can. But if we're like going just based off of what we know and what we see here, she's more likely a femboy. Buttspot, this is not the time. Yeah, no, it's very valid indeed. Very well indeed. Yeah.
I think he might not actually be the killer after all.
What? But aren't you the one who accused him in the first place?
He just seems to be too easygoing about all this. Like he's enjoying us solving the mystery.
Yeah, because he's an asshole.
The way he's acting, it makes it seem like it doesn't have anything to do with him.
And you think that might be because it doesn't have anything to do with him?
Plus, the evidence he left behind was a little too... how can I put it? Overt. He consciously chose to use the extension cord, knowing it could connect him to the murder. At least, that's how I see it.
Yeah, it's a little obvious.
And Byakuya, when you found out the murder took place in the boys' locker room, it seemed to rattle you. And then again, when you found out Chihiro was actually a guy, if you really were the killer, that stuff wouldn't have had any effect on you.
So that's your thinking, huh? It's fine.
Ah, shit!
I guess I'll mark it as correct for the time being.
Heck these nails, man. There we go. Well, it bothers me that you don't have any more concrete reasons, but it's fine.
Mark it as correct?
He's right. I am not the culprit.
Just an asshole!
I just happened to come across the corpse in the girls' locker room and decided to alter it.
Are you fucking with us right now?
No, I am not effing with you right now. I'm telling you the truth.
Bitch can't even swear.
Well, I find
Too
it very
coward.
hard to believe.
Go ahead. Find it very hard to believe.
Exactly, Eldak.
Along with the rest of us.
If you're really telling the truth, then why? Why do you do that to his body?
My reasons hardly matter right now. Uncovering the culprit is much more important, wouldn't you say? Now then, if it wasn't me, who was it?
Well, I don't think I can say for sure without talking about it a little more.
We're seriously gonna keep going? We're all good, aren't we? I thought it was clear Byakuya did it.
Yeah, it's probably more of a read it up to the, or leave it up to the reader player's interpretation kind of thing.
No, I'm with Makoto. If there's any doubt whatsoever, we need to explore every possibility. Because if we're wrong, we all die here.
That's true. Very well then. I'm with you too.
Damn straight. Count me in.
During the after school, so after you beat the game, you get to the, you unlock a special mode called school mode, where you can go back and you can talk to each of the characters, get to know them a little bit more. And I'm definitely not interested in seeing their panties. But anyway, we'll talk to Chihiro. Maybe we'll get some insight.
Do you not have a mind of your own?
Of course I do. What am I, an ant or something?
Anyway, let's discuss this all as a group one more time. We still have time to make our decision.
That's very true.
Our lives are all on the line.
Excellent. Then shall we resume our game of hide and seek?
Can somebody just punch him in the face? But if Byakuya didn't do it, then who's the real killer? Who murdered Chihiro? There's one thing we can be sure that we know about the killer. The killer was able to gain access to the real murder scene, which means it is a guy! Since the crime scene was the boys' locker room, you would need a boys' handbook to get in. Since Leon's handbook is apparently broken, the killer would have had to use their own. In other words, it had to have been a guy. That's still not enough. I need to find some more clues. Thank you for bonking him for me, Nona.
Isn't there a single clue that might lead us to who did it?
Well, clues are one thing, but Did nobody get a look at the killer?
I'm sure if someone saw the killer, they would have said something by now.
Perhaps someone saw the victim at some point. Even that might be enough for now.
Yeah. All we need right now is any kind of new info.
It's over. It's all over. You want to know who saw the victim? The killer. And only the killer.
I'm gonna miss. Oh, no, I got it. Cool.
No, that's wrong. I believe someone else did see the victim before he was murdered. What do you think, Celeste?
Now that you mention it, yes, I did see him.
Huh? Really?
Oh, but I suppose only Makoto knows about this. The rest of you had no idea, did you? That is why you're all making such ugly noises.
Whatever! Just hurry up and tell us!
It was last night, right before nighttime. I saw Chihiro in the dormitory warehouse. I saw him stuffing a track jacket into a duffel bag. And then, I assume, he headed off to exercise.
A track jacket and a duffel bag? But we didn't find anything like that at the murder scene.
Go figure.
It seems likely that the culprit destroyed them to get rid of any evidence.
And that is when he said something that struck me as rather odd.
Well, I'd better get going. I'm kind of in a hurry.
Chihiro told me he was in a hurry. But why would he be in a hurry? Only if someone were waiting for him, I should think.
So, Mr. Fujisaki was on his way to meet with someone, and then they were going to work out together?
But Hina and I had invited him to exercise with us plenty of times, and he always declined.
Celeste is pretty awesome.
Probably because he was afraid you'd find out the secret he was hiding, right?
Hiro is my favorite student. I don't know, I have so many people that I love in this. I don't think, aside from Junko and Akane, I don't think I could pick favorites.
Which means that conversely, he must have trusted whoever he was meeting with very much. Enough so that he was willing to risk his secret being revealed.
What a marvelous friendship!
Mm-hmm.
The point is, whoever he met up with is the culprit, right? So we just gotta figure out who it was.
But knowing what we know, I can't even guess.
No. You already have what you need to make the connection.
Huh?
You know who the killer is.
Kyoko!
Seriously? Who is it? Who's the killer?
Think back to the track.
Yeah, Snicker, we call her Buff Mama. Buff Mama.
Focus on the details of these items, and it should become obvious who was waiting for him.
Are you sure about that? You really think we can figure out who did it based on 2 pieces of evidence that we don't have?
What? You want to track down some fingerprints or something?
Even if we had the equipment for that, we wouldn't know how to use it.
As was noted, the evidence is already gone. There's nothing to get fingerprints from.
Yeah, Rex, that's why I try to, like, skip past them quicker. They're not as bad as they used to be, I'm just gonna let you know that.
Maybe.
At least not to my
make
eyes.
Certain inferences if we just take the time to talk it out.
Easy for you to say, but fine. Celeste, did you notice anything special about the bag or jacket?
The bag was just a normal duffel bag from the warehouse.
She is kinda hot.
All the bags in there are the same, so I can't imagine what would make that one special.
Well, if I remember right, there was a decent variety of tracksuits to choose from. Do you think there might be some connection between the culprit and Chihiro's jacket?
Perhaps. Let's explore that and talk a bit more about the jacket he took.
Does Chihiro's track jacket really hold some clue about the killer? Somehow, it's really hard to believe. Her voice is why she's hot to me, not gonna lie.
We know where Chihiro was heading.
Mm-hmm.
He was on his way to go exercise.
Yes.
So next we have to ask, why did he choose the specific tracksuit that he did?
Yes.
What do you mean, the specific tracksuit?
I got it!
Oh, I thought you meant Sakura, but both. Both are accurate.
The one the culprit was wearing.
No, fuck the face.
So, what you're saying is, the killer was wearing the same blue tracksuit as him?
Do I shoot that? I do.
No, that's wrong. Hold on a second, Mondo. What did you just say?
Sure did, Allie. Sure did.
Huh? What'd I say?
When Celeste testified a few minutes ago, she said...
I saw him stuffing a track jacket into a duffel bag, and then I assumed he headed off to exercise.
She never said anything about the jacket's color. So why did you say Chihiro's blue tracksuit?
What are you... You just...
Hey, Celeste. What color was Chihiro's tracksuit?
As a matter of fact, it was blue?
And before we began the trial, did you tell anyone that?
The only one I told about any of this was you.
Then, Mondo, how did you know what color Chihiro's tracksuit was?
But he's beautiful, Snickerman, so I have a hard time hating him. But yeah, he is kind of annoying.
Because I just... I'm sure he saw the clothes at some point in the investigation.
No, that can't be it. The bag and clothes were surely disposed of by the time we began our investigation.
Then the only reason he could have known what color the tracksuit was is if he saw Cherry with it before he died! That's the only possibility!
Cherry?
Are you talking about Chihiro?
It just occurred to me you guys might be able to hear my washer running in the background, and I do apologize.
So, how about it? Did you see the tracksuit or didn't you?
Just by chance. I just happened to see it last night. He walked past me, and he was carrying the tracksuit in his hands.
No, that can't be it either. According to Celeste's testimony...
He's a dollar store Kuwabara. She stuffed the jacket into her bag in a hurry. It was almost like she was trying to hide it. And just like that, she was gone. Okay, good.
When Celeste noticed it, Chihiro made a point of making sure the jacket was completely in the bag. If you just ran into him briefly, you couldn't possibly have seen what color the tracksuit was.
It would appear you've dug your own grave.
Perhaps. But you handed him the shovel, didn't you? That's why you said what you did. Focus on the tracksuit and it'll be obvious who he met with? What a bunch of nonsense.
You're a bunch of nonsense.
Now I understand. It was all one big bluff, wasn't it?
You are the mistress of bluffs.
Your true intention was to draw a slip of the tongue from the culprit. That's why you said you knew who did it. To put them on edge.
That's right. However, Mondo was my target all along. I had my suspicions about him from the very beginning.
But why? What made you so suspicious?
That's a good question.
The way he talked. No?
Maybe you didn't notice it, Mon. You only call guys dude. For girls, it's chick.
So it did... Dot dot dot. There was a certain turning point that tipped me off.
And after he was killed, you happened to refer to him as dude. Once I picked up on that, it occurred to me that Mondo knew something we didn't.
You notice such a tiny detail?
Are you a witch? She's a witch! You're positively frightful!
No, I'm not the frightful one. Not nearly as frightful as someone capable of murdering a friend.
Yeah. Mondo, was it really you? Did you really kill Chihiro?
Oh, it's not no, not the rule. Mondo in particular always called girls chicks and guys dudes. That was his, like, his thing.
Mondo.
I
didn't kill anyone. You've been all over me, judging everything I say, putting words in my mouth.
I'll put something else in your mouth.
What gives you the right to treat me like a goddamn criminal? Yeah,
He would never do something like that. This is a false accusation.
It's true. My reasoning
Hey,
on
Flamingo.
that is pretty shaky.
Yeah, I hate Hifumi. I can't stand him.
That was fast.
Well, this does present us with a problem. It seems we are all out of leads.
My time has nearly come.
I'm doing well, Flamingo. How are you?
That's what my little ghost friend is telling me.
Yeah.
Yeah, that reminds me. Hifumi, weren't you telling me you found some evidence?
Really? What kind of evidence?
Actually, you know, now that I'm thinking about it here calmly, it might not be all that relevant.
Jeez, does your confidence just get up and walk away? It's fine, man. Just tell us.
If you really insist, then, here it is.
What do you have there?
It happens to be an e-handbook. I found it laying on the ground, so I scooped it up.
I'm sorry, Flamingo. If you're photosensitive, you may not want to watch this stream, hun. Yeah, Cypher. The zooming in on the faces is one reason why I said to be careful about the game if you're epileptic. Just because of that one instance really is the main. We're also going to zoom past the killer's story. I'll reread what Monokuma said, but it's just a little too much. I'm glad to hear you didn't actually have the seizure though, Flamingo. I hope you're okay. Mondo. No, it's Chihiro's. I'm a dumbass. Ignore me.
I got it! We know Chihiro's handbook was missing from the scene of the crime, right?
For a fact.
Most of the changes that Spectrumsoft made that I've noticed, like, that had the biggest impact on me personally as an epileptic, happened in the second game.
For a fact indeed. I was totally sure I'd...
Then it must hold some clue about the culprit, right?
Well, that's what I was hoping. But it's busted. It won't even turn on.
Oh, okay, Flamingo. Okay.
The culprit broke it to get rid of any evidence after the murder.
I'm glad to hear you didn't actually have the seizure.
That's odd. I didn't think the handbooks were quite so...
That's strange, because I also had a seizure scare a few hours
You're
ago.
right. They're not. They're totally waterproof and shock resistant. It would take an awful lot to break one.
And yet, this one does appear to be broken, as is Leon's, sitting useless in the main hall. For all your confidence, that is a remarkably high failure rate.
Do you think there might be some kind of mystery in there somewhere? How, precisely, did the handbooks get broken?
How did the handbook break? There's only one possible explanation. By hitting its weak point.
I got it! You already told us before that the handbook has one weak point, didn't you?
Yeah! You remember that? Sure, maybe I let that slip, but I never told anyone what the weak point actually was.
You've been seizure-free for 4 years? That's wonderful, Flamingo. When's your birthday? Don't say your age, please. Just when your birthday is.
But if the handbook is supposed to never break, and 2 of them broke in quick succession, then...
Oh! I'll tell you guys after the stream,
Then
when
we
we're
can
closing
only
out.
assume that someone's figured out its weakness. You know what the weakness is, right, Monokuma? So, what is it? I think it's a necessary piece of information if you want this to be a fair trial.
Yeah, from now on I'm gonna skip past the strobing faces and I'll just tell you the essence of what they said.
But if I tell you, and someone else decides to copy it, that would be very not good.
So make it a school regulation we can't.
Just tell us already! Why would we want to break our own handbooks?
Oh well, I have a weakness for pushy demands. But you're sure you won't follow their example? Then allow me to make a special announcement. The weak point of my cutting-edge e-handbook is when it's exposed to high temperatures.
It will suffer.
You knew it?
So the weak point that he was saying is if it reaches super high temperatures, it'll break down. Intense heat seems to trigger, which sucks because Australia. Oh my gosh. I would die, Cypher. I would die. I think you should move to Canada.
Yeah, because I found the handbook laying on the floor of the sauna. The temperature in the sauna can reach over
Kamakura, yes, queen.
Strange how you don't get burnt, huh? It's because as your sweat evaporates, it creates a cooling layer of air around your skin.
That's wonderful, Flamingo.
If the hot air of the sauna were somehow pushed directly onto your skin, you'd definitely get fried.
Exactly, Snickerman. Like any other computer
That
component.
layer of air would get blown away. That's why you may feel a burning when you move around.
That or you need to go see a doctor.
So when you're in a sauna, make sure to keep nice and still.
Wow, interesting.
I learned one new fact today.
Trifling speck of knowledge.
Anyway, if you found the victim's handbook in the sauna, then the killer must have been purposely trying to raise its temperature in order to break it.
I gotta clean my glasses.
Meaning the culprit somehow knew its weakness.
I'm so blind without my glasses, it's horrible.
Monokuma said he didn't tell anyone, right?
Indeed. Quite the mystery.
What if they found out by accident?
What do you mean by accident?
What if the killer took their own handbook into the sauna, not knowing its weakness, and it broke?
Hey, Bim!
They'd realize it was broken, of course, and it wouldn't be hard to figure out why.
Mochi, you're also 3 to 4 years seizure-free. That is so wonderful! Aw. That's great. That makes me very happy to hear.
And once they had Chihiro's handbook, they knew they had an easy way to dispose of it.
I won't
Like,
say
really
it's
happy,
not
actually.
Possible, but who would have done something like that? I don't know of anyone who took their handbook into the sauna.
I do.
might know someone who did.
Uh-huh.
Whoa, serious? I think the one who may have taken their handbook into the sauna was...
Mm-hmm. Who might have brought their handbook into the sauna. Had to be the one who wore all their clothes into the sauna. It was... So you guys didn't get to see this on stream, but Kiyotaka and Mondo had a bromance moment.
Here's my answer. Mondo.
No, I got
your
what you
handbook
meant,
got
Bim.
broken in the sauna, didn't it?
What?
Mhm.
Mondo
Why do you
and
keep
Taka
accusing
had an
him?
endurance contest in the sauna not too long ago, remember? And for the contest, Mondo just so happened to keep his school uniform on.
The towel on the hair, I can't. And Gamer, you've been free for 1 to 2 years? That's great! Hey, Eladak, that's gone pretty quick.
But little did he realize, he'd also left his handbook in one of his uniform pockets.
Just the towel on the hair.
And when it was all over, Mondo discovered that taking your handbook into the sauna could easily destroy it.
No, wait, hold on. You've got it all wrong. He would never kill.
Mochi, I'm sorry to hear that. Good on you, though, for not letting it win. Sometimes it's just... Sometimes having epilepsy is very, very hard in how all the different ways it impacts our lives. And it's very easy to give in to the temptation of just saying, you know, fuck it, this is what my life is going to be, I'm not going to try or do anything else. But it's important not to stay there. Okay, Flamingo, have a great night, hun.
Don't accept this. Show me the proof. The actual solid proof.
Wait, why are you saying why, Nona? Why to what? Dollar store Kuwabara. I don't know who Kuwabara is, Snicker. I mean, I don't want to believe it either, but I found something that proves it beyond a shadow of a doubt. Oh, Yu Yu Hakusho. Okay, I've heard about that. Oh, why is it on his hair? I have no idea, Nona. But it's hilarious.
Let's test Makoto's assertion. If what he says is correct, then Mondo, you broke your own handbook.
In other words, If Mondo's
Oh,
handbook
I know
is
I'm gonna be
actually
shooting.
broken, then that proves that what Makoto said is right.
Well, my goddamn handbook works just fine.
I mean, prove it.
See? Look! Makoto was wrong after all! Mondo wouldn't hurt a fly!
Oh, okay.
Let's test Makoto's assertion.
Maybe this.
If what he says is correct, you broke your own hand. In other words, if Mundo's, then that proves that.
Well, my goddamn handbook will.
No, it's wrong. Mondo, the handbook you have right now, is it really yours?
Oh, Mochi, I'm so sorry about your friend. I'm so sorry for your loss. That is something that we, for those who don't know, SUDEP is sudden, unexpected death due to epilepsy. That is something that we live with on the daily. That being a possibility for us.
What the fuck is that supposed to mean?
The broken handbook that was in the main hall, isn't that one actually yours?
What the heck are you talking about?
What I mean is, I think Mondo swapped his handbook out for one that actually works. I think he took Leon's handbook and replaced it with his own. After all, Monokuma said himself that Leon's handbook never should have broken.
That's right! The punishment it suffered wasn't nearly enough to destroy it.
So then, the broken handbook in the main hall is actually Mondo's, which would mean that the handbook Mondo has right now is actually Leon's, yes?
But doesn't that violate the school regulation that says...
Bruh, he didn't loan. No one loaned it. He stole it.
Well, here's how I look at it. There is a rule about loaning your handbook to another student, but if they're dead, they're not a student.
Bruh. I'm sorry to hear, Rex, that you lost a friend as well.
It's kind of a gray area, I admit, but no worry as such.
Well, Mondo, if I'm wrong about this, you're welcome to say so.
Good, Mochi. Good.
I'm happy to admit I made a mistake, but...
Son of a bitch. What's wrong, bro? Come on! Tell him he's wrong! You are wrong! You have to be wrong! Everything you just said is wrong! You made it all up!
Okay, then why don't we look back on this case one more time, from the beginning? That way, everything will become clear, and we'll all see if I was right or wrong.
Alright, Chihiro. Oh, hey, ha ha, I'm on my way. She saw the tracket bag, or duffel track jacket thingy. Something everyone has. Okay, we need to find the e-handbook. There it is. Did you? What is these? Oh, which to hear? Okay. Is there a boys? There is, right there. Yeah. Meets up with our favorite gray alien man. He's talking to him, puts it in there. They come up behind them with Dees and bonk him on the noggin. Blood gets on this. They put it down and freak out, and they see Chihiro's dead body. They roll up the carpet. Oh, okay. Dees, they're taking it down. And then, okay, they went to the Goyle's locker. Ah! Alright, took that. The killer took something from the other locker room and switched it to the scene of the crime. Wait. Hold on. Oh, I see. Okay. Byakuya's an asshole. Wrote not that. Wrote bloodlust on the wall. Because he's a dick. They took the e-handbook to the sauna. And then they threw it in.
The killer is you! First, let's take a look back to before the incident.
Oh, my back. It hurts so much.
Last night, Celeste saw Chihiro in the warehouse, correct? At the time, she was apparently stuffing something into a duffel bag. That something was a blue tracksuit. You can confirm this, right, Celeste? With bag in hand, Chihiro headed out, even though it was officially nighttime. She made her way to the locker room, specifically the boys' locker room. But how could the victim, who was apparently a girl, access the boys' locker room? Simple, because she was really a he, which is why he was able to use his own e-handbook to gain entrance to the boys' locker room. Once inside, he met with someone there. And the person he met was the one who killed him.
Gray alien man.
It seems likely that the killer grabbed the nearby dumbbell, approached the unsuspecting Chihiro, and attacked him. And that's where the bloodstains on the poster and carpeting in the boys' locker room came from. It was likely in the heat of the moment. The body was arranged, but the murder itself felt unplanned. Which is why the killer hurried to try and hide the act. First, pulling up the bloodstained carpet, then removing the bloody poster, and finally carrying the corpse into the girls' locker room. A girl's handbook was necessary to get into the locker room, of course, but this alone doesn't prove that the killer was necessarily a girl. After all, Sayaka and Junko's handbooks had been placed in the main hall. Using one of those, a boy could get into the girls' locker room without much problem. And that's exactly how the killer did it. With the carpet and the poster they brought with them, they got to work.
Oh, Snicker, tomorrow the Tempest.
In what you might call a crime scene switch.
That's not a thing, Makoto. Tomorrow, Phasmophobia's big update comes out. We will be streaming it. I'm very excited.
That could have been the end of things. But no, Byakuya discovered the body and decided to intervene in the situation, making things even more complicated. So, after stumbling on the crime scene, he went and grabbed the extension cord from the library, and then he got to work.
Go have fun in Dark Tide, Rex. Thanks for hanging out.
Chihiro's lifeless body. Then, using the victim's own blood, he left a grisly message there at the scene of the crime. He wanted to create the illusion that Genocide Jack was responsible for the slaughter. And around the same time that Byakuya was putting together this facade, the killer, having already disposed of Chihiro's bag and other belongings, arrived at the sauna. There, they planned to destroy the last piece of evidence, Chihiro's handbook. And just as the killer expected,
Whoop!
and the reason, and
Whoop!
that...
That was kind of bad.
Isn't that right, Mondo Owada?
Hey, Shovel!
Wait! No! This can't be right! There's your evidence. Yeah! Where's your evidence? You need evidence. You need proof. Without any proof, you can't pin any of this on him.
Evidence that Mondo's the killer that already revealed itself earlier in the trial. If I can somehow show where Mondo's handbook is right now, once I do that, everything will become clear. No. Because this, I think... Alright.
Show me some evidence. You're wrong. I won't listen. I refute you. False. Show me some evidence. I won't listen. I refuse to vote. Show me some evidence. You're wrong. I won't listen. I refute you. Show me some evidence.
This should prove it. If my thinking so far is right, Mondo must have replaced his broken handbook with Leon's. In which case, we can just check each of our handbooks right now. Once we do that, we'll...
We don't gotta do that. Yeah. Yeah. I did it.
Mm-hmm.
I killed...
Yeah, at least he does admit it. Oh, Shovel, I think the issue is, we wanna be, as far as like the stinky thing goes, just because people have been coming in, might do something similar, and we don't want to open up the gates for that kind of schneeze. Yeah, he didn't draw it out.
Bro, what are you saying?
I got no choice, man. After hearing all that, I gotta just... give up.
We've been having some assholes lately, Shovel, that's all.
Go ahead, Monokuma. Get it over with. Ask for the goddamn verdict.
Roger that.
Wait!
No waiting. Time for the moment we've all been waiting for. Grab your lever and give it a yank!
Are we not doing phrasing, Monokuma?
Who will you elect as the Blackened this time around? Will you make the right choice or the dreadfully wrong one? What's it gonna be? What?
Big Sag. I really liked Mondo. I really liked Mondo. Thank you.
What?
It's nothing personal, Shovel. It's just because people have been butts lately, so. Uh-oh, this time it looks like you got it right again. Yes, it is so. The Blackened that killed Chihiro Fujisaki was... Mondo Awada! In case you're wondering, the vote was not unanimous. Kiyotaka chose the wrong answer. You're treading very close to the danger zone, Mr. Ishimaru. You'd need to be more careful. I refuse to believe it. There's no way he would kill someone.
Sorry.
What is this?
Why are you apologizing? I'm not gonna do all those whys. Nope, not gonna do it. Why? Why did you do it?
Now then.
Well, it looks like Mondo's taken a vow of silence, so allow me to explain on his behalf.
Actually...
The story of the murder this time is the sad story of two men. Oh, but for anyone who doesn't really want to hear it, you can hit the B button to fast forward the text. Anyway, there was once a young boy, and his name was Chihiro Fujisaki. He had an extreme inferiority complex regarding his own lack of strength. You're so weak, even though you're a boy. He'd heard things like that as long as he could remember, and he couldn't overcome his weakness. On the contrary, he tried to hide and buried himself further and further into that weakness, to take on the fragile form of a petite young girl. He had chosen that as his way out. Now nobody will be able to say anything about even though you're a boy. But no matter how tightly he wrapped himself up in that shell, the inferiority complex had already taken root deep inside of him and was not so easily weeded out. As it turned out, that shell was completely empty. The complex didn't disappear. Instead, it only grew stronger and stronger. I'm weak.
Weak, 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 weak.
Once the killing game had begun here at the school, he had no choice but to accept this fact. After all, this world is survival of the fittest. If you're not strong, you don't survive. And then the lovely and hateful Monokuma announced the revealing of the embarrassing secrets. Which of course included Chihiro's embarrassing secret, which I was more than willing to divulge. It's not embarrassing. Even though he dresses like a girl, Chihiro is actually a boy.
Hey,
And that was something Chihiro couldn't let anyone find out, no matter the cost. If that was revealed, it would be the end. The hardened shell would crack, the armor would fall away. I do want to take a moment to say, if you guys are struggling with thoughts like that, it's not true. You're not weak. You're not a coward. It's just like with anybody else. You're doing your best. Without a doubt, those around him would torture him more than ever before. Everyone figured being thrust into such a dilemma must have sent him spiraling into despair.
What?
And yet...
I'm sorry.
Sorry, I don't really want to talk about it right now. But I also don't want to leave things the way they are, so maybe I can talk about it later. After I try my best to become strong, then I can tell everyone. Annoyingly, he used the thread of discovery to motivate himself to become stronger.
That's right.
Now's my chance.
I want to change.
I'm going to get stronger and accept who I am. Strong enough so that when someone says, even though you're a boy, I'll be okay. I'll get better. With that thought at the front of his mind, he resolved to take immediate action. And so... that day, he made the commitment to begin exercising. He was prepared to retrain his mind and body. But sadly, that would be the first and only chance he would get at it.
Hey,
When he decided to start exercising, he thought it would be good to ask for someone's help. But he wanted to tell that person his secret first, and then ask them to help him from there. And the person he went to...
Yeah, that's right.
It was me. Yep, it sure was. The biker gang fella had been painfully clear about how important his manly promises were, so Chihiro probably figured that even if he confided in Mondo, his honor would make him keep the secret. Plus, Mr. Macho Mondo was the very symbol of a strong man that Chihiro had always aspired to. Maybe talking to Mondo about it will help give me some courage. So, he went and asked Mondo to help him become strong. That was his aspiration, and he thought that only with Mondo's support would he ever be able to come close to that.
Correct.
So then that must be why Mondo did what he did, to keep the promise he'd made to Chihiro. Huh? Did what he did? You mean that's why Mondo carried Chihiro from the boys' locker room into the girls' locker room?
Indeed.
Yes, that's exactly what I mean. Wasn't that to cover up what he'd done?
Certainly.
That could have been part of it, but I don't think it was the main reason. The real purpose was to keep the promise between men he'd made to Chihiro. But how does moving the body keep his secret? Because if everyone knew he'd been killed in the boys' locker room, then everyone would have been arguing about how she got into the boys' locker room, right? Once that started up, at least a few of us would have immediately begun to suspect his identity, so... he tried to protect Chihiro's secret by putting him in the girls' locker room and stealing his handbook, see? Then Mondo did all that to keep the promise he'd made to Chihiro, who he'd also killed? Why would he do that? The more I hear you talk, the more I don't understand. I mean, you guys trusted each other, right? So why? Why did you... Because, no matter what, I didn't want anyone to know.
I knew it.
So that's what triggered it after all. The possibility of having your embarrassing memories and secrets exposed.
What is this?
That's impossible. Nothing could have been that bad. Something he didn't want anyone to know, even if it meant killing someone?
Wrong.
It's impossible.
Don't make me repeat myself.
How many times must I repeat myself? To judge others by your own standard is the height of folly. Even if you can't comprehend it, he obviously can. That's all there is to it. Well, while we're on the subject, why don't I tell you? That embarrassing memory, that secret he didn't want anyone to know?
Hey,
You know what Mondo did? He killed his own brother. This, okay, we're just gonna zoom past all of this and then I'll read the stuff to you guys. There we go. The kid's gonna take over for Daya, huh? Daya has created this gang with his bare hands. Mondo's just along for the ride. Could someone like that really be our leader? All that'll do is make the gang look bad. Almost every day, Mondo heard the gossip and whispers of the other members of the gang. Okay, let me go back to the top. That's good, Eladak, I'm glad. Okay, here we go. Mondo, the ultimate biker gang leader, makes all the hoodlums and riffraff across the country tremble. But the only reason he had the chance to join a gang in the first place was because of a certain someone. Mondo's older brother's name was Daya Owada. Mondo had nothing but respect for him. It was because of Daya that Mondo ever got on the motorcycle. Mondo's brother was his only family growing up. He was the only one Mondo could trust or respect. He wanted to measure up to his big brother, so he imitated him in everything he did. Mondo was the epitome of the starry-eyed kid brother. Meanwhile, the charismatic older brother had put together a local motorcycle gang, and before anyone knew it, it had grown into the biggest biker gang in the country. Daya, the older brother, number 1 in the gang, and his number 2, his younger brother Mondo. In the beginning, everything was peaches and gravy, but when Mondo started to think about how he would have to take over the gang from his brother someday, his brother's greatness, his reputation, began to gnaw on Mondo's very soul. Which is why...
I
gotta get stronger. Stronger than Daya. Once. Just one time. No matter what, I gotta win.
Don't fuck with me.
I don't care what it takes. I gotta come out on top. And on the night of his amazing brother's retirement ceremony, Mondo challenged him to a street race. But during the race, tragedy struck. The kid brother pushed ahead with reckless abandon, eager for victory, and dashed into oncoming traffic. But suddenly... It was an accident, Mondo! Laying in his kid brother's arms, the older brother delivered his final words. My bad, kid. I fucked up. Sorry. Of course he knew it was his brother's fault, but Daya never blamed him for what happened. Hey kid, the rest is up to you. No matter what, you gotta keep the gang together. 'Cause it's the team you and me put together. It's a promise between men. He decided to hide the truth of what happened from everyone else in the gang. In order to keep the gang together and keep the promise to his brother, he could never admit to anyone that it was his own weakness that had caused the accident. And as a result, the team was made even stronger under the banner of the kid who'd bested his big brother. Daya was going to lose to his kid brother, so he got stupid and got himself killed. That became the explanation for what happened. Mondo's lie became the truth. He wanted to lead the team so bad, he was willing to tell all kinds of lies about his brother. I'm strong. Strong. And yet... As soon as our killing game began, he realized, no matter how tough he pretended to be, he was just another weakling that could die in an instant. And then the hateful Monokuma announced the revealing of the embarrassing secrets. At that point, it was clear I would have no problem shedding light on his secret. Mondo killed his own brother. No matter what, I couldn't let the other gang members find out. If that happened, everything would have been ruined. Everything me and my brother had worked to create would have been destroyed. His death, all the guilt I'd been carrying around, all would have been for nothing. So that's why Mondo. After I saw what Monokuma had on me, my head filled up with a kind of fuzzy uneasiness and just started swirling around. I'd never felt anything like it before. That, Mondo, is what we call panic. I didn't know what to do about it. Yeah, Nona. That's when Monokuma keeps conveniently leaving out that it was an accident. I wasn't sure what to think or say, but after a while, that fuzzy uneasiness turned itself into a rock-hard lump of anxiety way down in my stomach. And it was right around then that Chihiro asked me to start working out with him. And right there, he told me a secret. Seriously? Jesus.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm sorry I lied to you. But why? Why now? Why are you telling me this all of a sudden?
Huh?
Because, I mean, you've kept that secret all this time, right? If anyone found out, you would...
But...
You're right, but...
I want to change.
I wrap myself in lies. I'm weak. I want to destroy that version of me forever. His words were like a knife in my gut. I felt like he was exposing the lie I'd been living myself. I have to change. I don't want to be weak anymore. You're so strong, it can't hurt you, right? Whatever secret Monokuma might tell us...
You piece of...
So what? You're saying I should just say it?
What?
You're saying if I really am,
What?
I should just be able to tell everyone my secret?
Huh?
I was jealous. I was jealous of Chihiro's strength. He had the strength to face his own weakness, to try and overcome it. It was the kind of strength I've never had. So I was jealous of him. And that jealousy broke me.
What?
Are you making fun of me? I'm strong. Are you fucking with me right now?
No!
I'm not making fun of you. You really are strong, Mondo. I felt like I could hear something starting to creak. Something inside my head. What did he want me to do? What was I supposed to do? Was I supposed to just sit back, let my secret get revealed, and ruin everything?
What's wrong?
Damn you!
Why did you have to tell me all that? Are you trying to rub my failure in my face?
I just
No,
wanted to...
I just really admire you. I admire your strength.
Yeah, that's right.
I am strong. Strong, I'm strong. Strong, yeah. Stronger than you.
Son of a bitch!
And stronger than Daya. I don't remember anything after that. When I woke up again, he was laying at my feet, covered in blood. I had the dumbbell in my hand, and I was just staring at him, down on the ground. Hey. I killed him.
I killed Chihiro.
Oh, okay.
Even after all this time, I'm still just as weak as I've always been. And thanks to that, I did something I can never take back.
No. It's the regret he feels that stabs me. Yeah. Yeah, Nona. I was going to post as a musical bit anxiety before he mentioned it. Mondo. He was normally so aggressive, so angry. He hid that weak side away from everyone. That was his secret. A weakness like that lived in a heart like his, and it turned him cold-blooded. God damn it. Look at him, you see? You're all just like him. For a secret from the past, for a memory. For that, he killed another living human in cold blood. He couldn't cut free of his regrets from the outside world. He doesn't know what true strength is. Do you see hope anywhere in there? 'Cause I sure don't. You bastard. Just shut up, you son of a bitch. Go ahead, say that again, I dare you. It's so strange hearing Taka swear. Yeah, Nona, and he blacked out before he killed Chihiro. Like, I'm not saying, like, oh, if you black out, you know, you didn't murder... No, he murdered Chihiro. But it wasn't like he planned to. It's not like with Leon, who... He could have walked away. He could have walked away. With Mondo, it was just an act of passion. A crime of passion. Or not a crime of passion.
Yep.
One done in the heat of the moment. Okay, I'll say it as many times as I want, is what I want to say. But, unfortunately, I can't do that right now, because the time for punishing is fast approaching. Punishing?
It can't be.
You mean execution? That's what I promised you, right? The black and that disturbs the peace will be punished.
Ridiculous.
Hold on.
Now then, I prepared
A very special punishment from Mondo Iwata, the ultimate bike gang leader. No, wait.
Let's give it everything we've got. It's punishment time!
This is also sad, Taka's reaction.
Sorry, man. I couldn't keep the promise we made. From one man to another.
And for some reason, these cutscenes are very quiet, so I'll turn the volume up real quick. I shall do that sip crash. I love how Monokuma has a wig that looks like Mondo's. Mondo butter. I think this is where I was at before. Laugh at death and your soul will forever be at peace. It can't be. My brother. Another murder. Oh, they claimed they were brothers. They came to a pact and they were like, oh, we're brothers now. 100% natural. Yep. 50% the fat. Another murder and another execution. I want to feel again. Everyone's lives are taken so lightly here. I feel like I might be going mad. Maybe I'll just let it happen. As Taka's sad screams invaded our skulls, we were each forced to realize once again. But he, of course he had to. What a disappointment. This is the end of the game? Byakuya?
What is this?
You're completely insane, you know that? A game? One of our friends is dead. Do you realize that?
Naturally.
Of course I do, because this game is life or death.
Hey.
I don't have anything to say to you. I don't have a response, except that...
However...
I just don't understand why. Why did you go out of your way to disguise Mondo's crime?
What?
Why? Isn't it obvious? Because it made things more interesting. His voice was calm, emotionless, like the voice of death. It chilled me to the bone. Last night, when the murder took place, I was in the library as usual.
Honestly.
So you ignored the nighttime rule too. That rule never mattered to me. I don't recall agreeing to it.
There is nothing to be done.
Well, I don't particularly care. Please continue. The night grew late, and I decided to return to my room, which is when I had stumbled upon him. I spotted Mondo coming out of the girls' locker room. After he'd gone, I looked inside and saw the corpse. You mean you actually witnessed the murder? He was such a fool. He didn't have the slightest idea that I'd seen him. Fuck you, Byakuya, indeed. Also, hi, Cyrus!
Well...
So you're saying you knew who the culprit was from the very beginning?
That's right.
Indeed, but if that had been the end of it, how boring would that have been? I mean, what a waste of time to have the answer revealed right at the beginning. Which is why I decided to lend a little helping hand. I thought it would liven things up. You did all that to lighten things up? Liven things up. So after hearing about Genocide Jack from Toko, you decided to use that to create the fake murder scene.
But
damn, man, if we hadn't figured out who'd really done it, you would have been dead too, right? Well, obviously, I would have revealed the truth before it reached that point. Of course. Byakuya turned and looked me in the eye. I could feel his sharp eyes piercing into me. Thanks to a certain remarkable someone, it never did. And I was able to perform an interesting experiment.
Interesting.
Once I do decide to become blackened, I now know who I'll have to watch out for. What?
Correct.
So that was your reason. Are you satisfied?
Indeed.
Yes, we're done listening to your story. Moving on.
Hey.
There's something I'd like to ask Monokuma.
What's this?
Oh, I'm up next!
You...
You like to perform these elaborate executions each time, correct? My question is, why? Do you like them? But you know, this punishment, this despair, it's not just for you. All this punishment, all this despair is my gift to mankind itself.
What?
You're over-exaggerating. I am not over-exaggerating. These punishments are meant to transform all hope to despair. What do you mean? 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 Mean?
What the heck?
Mean? I'm not doing it. Good grief, I don't understand why you have to pick apart every little stupid thing. Whatever, it doesn't matter. In the end, I'm going to stand alone as the victor, and then everything will be revealed to me. Ah, the noble son of a noble family. Truly, you understand me? I think this is the start of a terrifying friendship.
That's enough.
Shut up. I would never stoop to the level of a childish criminal like you. Let me just say this. After I have achieved complete victory, you're up next. I'm going to find you and kill you, Understand?
In the name of my family.
In the name of the Tagami family, for which victory is a foregone conclusion.
You're getting all riled up!
Ooh, it's so cool. It's like you're the main character of a video game or something. No trash mob for you. I swear, whatever it takes, I will kill you. Temper, temper. Sounds like someone needs a nap. Yeah, Nona is big Sag. Monokuma's laughter peeled across the courtroom, and the curtain closed in the case of Chihiro and Mondo. But I knew that wasn't the end. The killing game would still continue, because the mastermind wouldn't let it end. For those of us who were still alive, our worst fear and despair kept on multiplying. It was the kind of despair that felt like a blind puppy in hell had more of a future than us. All of our courage, our effort, our friendship, it felt like it amounted to nothing at all. It was the worst kind of despair.
Well, anyway, like I was saying, this is a pretty good spot. Yeah, a really good spot. Anyway, isn't it amazing how that girl went and killed someone before things even had a chance to get boring? Once things really get moving, it'll be like a roller coaster. There won't be any stopping it. Fear and despair charge forward at a speed nothing can hope to match. But I must admit, I'm disappointed. I went to all the pain and effort of making you part of the group, and you couldn't play your part. You do remember you were supposed to make the first move, right? Well, no biggie. Nothing we can do about it now, so just do your best to make things more exciting from now on, okay? After all, that's what everyone wants to see.
There's one thing I'd like to ask you.
As long as you don't want to know my measurements, fire away.
Who is it? The 16th high school student, I mean.
Ooh, my, you really took me by surprise there. I know I said you could ask anything, but super denied, ultra denied, demonic denied. Because you see, that's my ace in the hole.
Bye, Misha. You have a great evening, hon. Get lots of rest. I shall do that sip crash.
And nobody'd be dumb enough to reveal that, right? No matter how close they were to their friends.
Who do you think it is, Nona? So that is the end of chapter 2. Yeah, sometimes it doesn't matter. Well, no, not sometimes. All the time. It doesn't matter what happens. No matter the circumstances. Keep your emotions in check, bruh. The one I like. The one with the crazy hair, Yasuhiro Hagakure? The mastermind is Hifumi. The pervy otaku is just an act. I don't think Hifumi has enough brain cells to be the mastermind. I'm just saying. And if that makes me a bad person, then that makes me a bad person. I don't care. Alright. Okay. Oh, Junko! Junko's dead. No, Darkling, it's not my first time. But you think Junko Inoshima is the gray alien person we saw? Or the mastermind? Or the student? So many options. Oh shoot, you can see my Christmas tree again. Ah, you see nothing? Yeah, no, this is my third time playing this game. I played it the original release on Steam. I did it when they released the remaster back in 2019. Or no, 2021, I'm sorry. And then we're doing it this one. You don't ask a girl that. You know, out of context, yeah, it does. The gray person. Okay, the gray person. Well, as far as the gray person we just saw, that one you guys will know on... clicky. There we go. That one you'll know at chapter 4, or at the end of chapter 3. So, stick around. Tomorrow... we're going to be doing some more chill games just because today was really stressful. So tomorrow we'll probably just do like Power Watch Sim and other stuff. Your message is highlighted. But 2 things I want to announce before we go and raid out. The first is that Thursday we'll do some more recording here for Danganronpa. Oh, excuse me. Because now that the first 2 for me are kind of like the first 2 chapters. They're kind of like my, okay, I'll stick through it chapters. Like, I want to get through them quickly so I can get to the meat. So I'm really looking forward to playing some more with you guys. The second thing is about the subathon. We're going to be eating candy from different areas in the world. So we have an Asian market not far from us, and Mama Eppie's going to go get me an assortment of candy from there, and we're going to have a segment on there. So I'll probably make that the 75 sub goal is when we would do the candy tasting. So I feel like she didn't die, but maybe it... What the hell? A Tim Tam Slam. What is a Tim Tam Slam? But we'll either make it a segment or make it a sub... Actually, yeah, we'll make that the 75 sub goal. I won't update the flyer, but once the subathon does start, again, it's starting New Year's Eve. So if you guys want to be there for that and support me, I would appreciate it so much. But until tomorrow, again, noon Central Standard Time is now the starting time for my streams, just because I do need that extra rest in the morning. I didn't get the extra rest this morning is one reason why I probably had that seizure scare earlier. But I love you guys so much. Thank you for hanging out with me. Mama Effie bringing enough candy for everyone? Unfortunately, no. Just enough candy for me. But, you know, I will, you know, the candy that you guys will be receiving is the candy of my content. That sounded so fucking pretentious. Oh my god. Okay, well, now that I've, you know, made myself look like a puffed up Popinjay, aww, you can make me blush. We are going to go ahead and we are going to raid out. We're going to go say hi to Mims, my roommate. She's a sweetheart. Looks like Toast is currently, oh, Toast is in there as well. So let's go ahead and say hello to them. I love you guys so much. We'll see you tomorrow at noon. Have a great evening. Bye.